All right, welcome back, fellow Shopify entrepreneurs. Every month on this channel, I like to go over the Shopify changelog to look at all the new features, improvements, features, everything coming to the Shopify channel for the month of December. This month, as running multiple Shopify stores for years and years and years, I have found this resource invaluable, and I like to bring my community together so we can discuss all things Shopify every month by going over all the changes that have happened this month and can help improve your store and help your store stay above the competition by implementing the latest and greatest features coming to the platform. Every month I do this on this channel, so if you're interested in this type of thing and want to join a free Shopify community, hit that subscribe button and you can sign up for free. This month is a very interesting month, obviously, because it's the holidays, the end of December, and we can see that the updates this month are actually very short. There's not that many because once we get to December 19th here, it looks like the developers took the rest of the year off for the holidays and they came back to work after New Year's on January 1st. So we have this big area here where no updates happen. And I was actually wondering what was going to happen this month if they took the time off. It looks like they did, all to each their own. But because of this and the holiday schedule for the month of December, we have a relatively short update list this month. So it'll be a shorter video than usual. But if you're new around here, you want to get caught up on all the other update videos from the months of November, October, September, everything moving back, you can check out this playlist in the top right corner and that'll get you all caught up, give you all sorts of ideas that you can implement on your Shopify store. So let's get started. We ended off last month on November 29th, and so we'll start here on December 4th with a new feature coming to the admin. We always like seeing these yellow new tags because it's a brand new feature coming to the platform, and that can really get your brainstorming hats on to implement new ideas that you can bring to your Shopify store and your online business as compared to improvements or features or updates as we see. But these yellow new features are always fun to take a look at. So on December 4th, we have a new admin feature that says they have introduced the ability to take amount off for the BXGY discount. So it says the new out of the box discount feature gives the ability to create a BXGY discount that takes an amount off. If we click into this, we don't really see that much more information on this. Just new out of the box discount feature gives the ability to create BXGY discount and the amount taken off. So what this is saying here, the BXGY discount is one that is very versatile because it's not exactly a BOGO. It's not a buy one, get one free or anything like that. It's two separate variables. So it's buy X product and you get Y product. So in your discount tab in your Shopify admin, when you're making a BXGY discount, this is a order discount or a product discount actually is more accurate. Before, when you're making the BXGY discount, there were only two options. There's a section when you scroll down your discount settings, there's a section here that says add a discounted value. And then there were only two options before. There was percentage. So buy one, get this, buy X and get the Y product, add a percentage off. And then there was also free. So buy X and get this free. Very helpful. And like I said, it gives you a lot of ideas on how you can implement this on your store. But now they've added a new feature here that is the ability to take an amount off. So if you look in your admin, you'll see a nice little surprise there when you're making a BXGY discount, and you'll see that there is percentage and free. And then right in between, there is the amount off. So you can offer a product, you can buy one and you get one at a specific amount off instead of a percentage or offering it free. Obviously, this is a very helpful discount, a lot of marketing opportunities. You can use this to increase your average order value, which is really important. You can use this to move slow moving quantity. That's also very important, or clearance items that are just taking up your inventory, a lot of things. So you can use the BXGY discounts in a lot of ways, and every store, every business does just that. Moving right along, on the same day, December 4th, it says collaborator request code is now required for partners to access your store. So it says collaborator request codes are now a default requirement, providing merchants with an extra layer of security against unauthorized access. If you click into this, we get a little bit more information. Collaborator request codes previously are an opt-in feature, and they will now be enabled by default for all merchants. So this means if you're working with a collaborator or a partner or a Shopify expert and you give them access to your store, it is now what previously was an opt-in feature is now enabled by default. So anytime a collaborator needs to get into your store to work on the project that you have come together and want to achieve, they will have to input the unique code that they request from you. And then it sounds like you send them back to give you access. That's very helpful because, if you have a Shopify store and you go to your accounts tab here, you'll see the account owner here. Then below that, you'll see staff members and staff accounts here. And then below that, you'll see collaborators, collaborator access. It's a whole different section. It's a completely different section. It's such a different section. I'm going to change the color for it right here. This is collaborators. So you can see the list and you can see their last login. And then of course you can sign them specific permissions and all that are required for the task that you hired them for, or whatever the case may be. But now that's a really good feature. So that's all that's saying. A new little request code for account security. Always a good thing. Moving right along, we have 2 updates here that are kind of talking about the same thing. It's a new feature in the market. So on December 3rd, the first update here says you can set payment terms and collect deferred payments for local currency orders. So this is interesting. So merchants selling in multiple currencies with Shopify payments can now set up payment terms and collect deferred payments for local currency orders. And this kind of comes into the same thing, the same update here. Edit existing local currency orders in Shopify. Merchants selling multiple currencies with Shopify payments can now edit existing orders. So the key word here is the use of Shopify payments and local currency orders. So if you don't know what this is, if you're using Shopify payments, but you also want to sell somewhere else that has like a huge percentage of this country, for example, uses a specific payment method, like Klarna, I'll just put K here for Klarna. It's very popular in Europe. You have to kind of set up this separate payment method separately from Shopify payments. Shopify payments is the main payment gateway. And then below that, you'll see alternative payment methods like PayPal and all that. So local currency orders is a payment method, another little payment gateway that helps a specific country or region, because a region can consult of multiple countries, to pay with their preferred gateway. There's a bunch of these that come with Shopify payments, but the point of this, so that's kind of what local currency orders means. But the point of this update is now that you can set payment terms and collect deferred payments for local currency orders. So you can do this if you're using a single, like if you have Shopify payments, for example, and you're the person paid it with Shopify payments with their Visa card, for example, you can set payment terms like sending them an invoice or have deferred payments or set existing payment conditions, put down a deposit and then you can send me the rest later. These type of things when you're creating invoices. But you weren't able to do that with your local currency orders, but now you can. So that's all that's saying. So this is about if you're selling in multiple markets, if you're using Shopify payments, and then if you're using a local currency gateway for one of your markets, you can now set payment terms and collect deferred payments, but then you can also edit existing orders. So just like with local currency, so just like you do with Shopify payments, you can add an item, you can subtract an item, you can cancel an order, you can edit an order, you can do all kinds of things. And this is kind of one and the same, just a little update there. Moving right along, we're almost done. We've only done a few, but the developers all went on holidays, so we only have a few here. So on December 6th, the update here said, customize the metrics displayed in Shopify. Well, that sounds pretty straightforward. So this is just a little admin improvement. So it says you can now customize your home metric dashboard by choosing which metrics you see on your homepage. So, recently, a few months ago, Shopify underwent a pretty massive admin change just in the way everything is laid out. I'm sure if you've been running Shopify stores for a while. But what it's saying is on the home page, you have all your things on this side, there's orders and all that. On your home page, they changed it so you kind of have a quick little snapshot of a few analytics like visitors and orders and conversion rate and whatever else you have. So now it's saying you can customize these metrics that are displayed on the home tab here. And there's a little pencil icon on the corner of each one of these. So if you find these irrelevant, you can change these to the ones that are most relevant. And that's really important. If you're running a sale or a quick little sale, you need to know something in Flash, you can edit those. The whole admin is changing to a way that you can kind of customize anything, especially in analytics. You can customize not only the analytics you see, but how many are on the page and what's up here, kind of in a click and drag method. So just a little improvement there to get you the information that is specific for your business that you need right away. December 7th, the shop channel is now pre-installed for new merchant accounts. So it says new merchants in Shopify payments. Merchants are you, people with accounts. It says new merchants in Shopify payments supported countries can now get instant access to the shop channel from the sales channel section of the admin. Okay, so what this is saying here is, well, we got to start with the shop channel. So the shop channel is Shopify's main marketplace. It's called the shop. It's not the shop. It's actually actually just called Shop. And if you look in the App Store, you go to their website, it's this purple logo. I suppose this is maybe more appropriate for this. But yeah, it says Shop. And if you ever visit Shop, this is a huge marketplace, kind of like Amazon or anything you want, or Etsy, where Shopify only merchants can put their products on Shopify's product. So people search the Shop app, the marketplace, and they can view your products in this sales channel. That's what the Shop app does. It's actually, obviously different sales channels are very important for more eyes to get on your product as opposed to just the website. Sales channels are things like Instagram or Facebook or, TikTok or Etsy or your point of service, your point of sale. Those are all different sales channels, and the Shop app is also one as well. So now it is all that is saying is the Shop channel is now pre-installed for new merchant accounts, because before you would have to go to the Shopify App Store and install the Shop channel. And that's just a little improvement there for the Shop app. There are some eligibility requirements to get your products onto the Shop channel and the Shop marketplace, but it's not overly difficult at all. You just have to make sure you abide by the rules. There's a whole document on the requirements when you download this, and those requirements, one of them is like your chargeback rate. I think it's you have to keep a chargeback rate of under 1% for 6 months, something like that. And then this is a rolling number. So if you get a chargeback rate with a rolling 6-month time frame, your eligibility for what you can and can't put on a Shop channel can change. So obviously no store wants chargebacks, but sometimes they are unavoidable. But the Shop channel, it's a huge marketplace made and developed by Shopify, already on the Shop sales channel. Definitely check it out so you can get more eyes on your products. Moving right along here, December 7th says sell. It's a little new feature coming to B2B businesses, but it says sell digital products to your B2B customers. So it says expand your wholesale offering to include non-physical products like digital downloads, warranties, and services. That's a very useful feature. Obviously, selling digital products is a feature that is on non-B2B stores. I gotta be honest, all my stores are not B2B, so I don't know a whole lot about B2B businesses, but digital products are very interesting. Non-physical products, they don't require a shipping address. That's one way if you ever needed a way to turn off someone putting in their shipping address into your checkout. If you mark the product as a non-physical good, maybe a digital product, that shipping address goes away. So if you ever needed to do that, that's one way to do that. But of course, in B2B, I can see things like warranties and services and stuff like that being very useful. So now it just says you can sell digital products to your B2B customers. All right, December 12th, we have a new feature here. We see the yellow in the apps. This means a brand new feature, and we always get really excited about those. So it says Shopify Flow, improved UX for browsing and searching tasks. And it continues by saying, with a fresh user interface, enhanced search capabilities, and new grouping for flow tasks, and improved categorizations, finding the right tasks and applications has never been easier. That is kind of a strange run-on sentence, or maybe I just read it wrong. Who knows? But this is a pretty big update. If we click into this, there's a lot more information. So if you want to pause and take a read at this, feel free. But Shopify Flow, if you don't know, is a made and developed Shopify app, and it helps automate specific tasks for you. So if you ever use something like the Shopify email app, you'll know that Shopify Flow and Shopify Email kind of starts with a trigger, and then there's extensions like this, like if an order is placed, check if the order is a digital product. If it is not a digital product, send a invoice and a shipping confirmation. If it is a digital product, send them a thank you email, stuff like this, and a code maybe that they need for the digital product. This kind of flow. This is, you can see why it's called Flow. So this is available for anyone if you're not using it. It's not super user friendly, but I guess they are adding a big improvement here because they want people to use it. It is a little complicated to look at, but I have noticed that their new improvements are very, very noticeable. In fact, it says here that the search functionality covers both tasks and applications, allowing you to quickly find what you're looking for. Because before, the search was, if you know Shopify Flow, or if you don't, on the right side, you would search the inputs and the triggers, and they are separated by your apps. So at the top, you would have the Shopify inputs here by default, and then other apps that you can add functionality would be listed down here. And it was very difficult to search this to add a box to the flow, right? Now, if you go to it, they've updated the Shopify grouping to a Shopify admin API grouping. So if you click into the app, you'll see that right at the top, there's going to be a portion that says Shopify Admin API with a lot more inputs available in this one grouping. But also, once you click into this Shopify API grouping, it says here that the categorizations and the categories have changed. It says we have introduced categories for Shopify Admin API tasks, aligning them with Admin API categorization. So before it was actually, it just seems so difficult to find what you were looking for. You would think you would find like what you're looking for, like product title here. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Put it into the grouping, and then it turns out that's actually the wrong input that you need. The other one, what you actually need is called like variant title or something like that. So if you look in the Shopify API grouping, you'll see similar listings to what you see in the admin sidebar. You'll see like collections, orders, discounts, invoices, whatever. So this is a significant improvement. I will say, if you've never used a Shopify Flow app, don't get overwhelmed if you're looking at it. A lot of times, like, people need flow and automation and emails. And if you're looking for automated emails, just use Shopify email. But the Shopify Flow app kind of uses the same setup as Shopify email to automate tasks, but does things for things that are not emailed. One super easy way to get used to this, or just to study into this, is to look at the templates. Shopify Flow has a library of pre-made templates that you can look in and just get used to creating, because it gives you, when you open Shopify Flow, it gives you this big canvas that is completely blank. And if you've never done it before, it can be very overwhelming. But then in the top right, I think that says like browse library of templates, and then you can input a template for an automated invoice to be sent or something like that. And that'll put it onto the canvas here, and you'll see a bunch of blocks and arrows and if conditions and stuff like that. And then you can learn much easier if this helps you in any way. It's underutilized, but it's a little difficult to set up. And I'm sure, I know how you feel. There's a lot of things you need to do and get done with your online store. So this is not a necessity, but it can help in some tasks. Don't get overwhelmed if you look at it and don't understand it. Keep it back in mind for when you do need it, and maybe come back to it. And as we can see, they're improving it over time. And this is actually a very big improvement. So if you've never seen it before, lucky you don't have to use kind of the old setup they had. You can use the new, fresh, and much easier setup that they have. So that's my little spiel on Shopify Flow. Let's continue. Well, I'm glad I did my spiel, because we only have 2 things left. Usually there's like 20 updates maybe or so, one every few days in the month, but we have such a short month here that we only have 2 things left. So on December 14th, it says email notifications are now available in Shopify Forms. So this is a little feature in the marketing section. It says get notified by email when someone completes a form. So Shopify Forms is a Shopify made and developed app. It's free. It's on the App Store, and it can do all kinds of things. It can allow you to give customers forms to fill out, and then when somebody completes the form, it can send you an email. But also it can give you pop-ups for when customers come to your website. So these are very common in e-commerce, when you go to a website and you're browsing and then you get to a certain spot of the page, or when you open the page right away, you get a pop-up here. It says, let's be friends. Here's 10% off. Put your email in and you can subscribe to our blog. That's one feature of Shopify Forms. And I'm sure if somebody does this, maybe it'll send you email as well. But all it's saying is that email notifications are sent in Shopify Forms, and you can turn that on within the app. The last update of the month. How sad. We just started. So December 19th says more support for meta objects in theme text settings. So it says our theme text settings now support meta object reference lists. So to get a little more information on this, it says we've added reference lists to the rich text, and inline rich text settings in the theme editor. It says you can reference lists of text directly in your theme using dynamic sources. So when you're adding like a meta field, and then you attach the meta field with the dynamic sources kind of burger looking icon. This is kind of what it's talking about. So for example, if you have a list of ingredient meta objects that are assigned to a product, the name of each ingredient can be used in a list on the product detail page using dynamic sources in a list like this. And that's it. And that's it. We only have a few updates this month. Usually, like I said, there are more. Here they are again. If anything catches your eye. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'd be happy to look into anything more for you. Or just discuss Shopify in general. If you're interested in joining a Shopify community that's free and live and active, where we can just all come together, discuss all things Shopify, good and bad, and learn from each other's experiences, consider joining the channel. Subscribe. It's free. Like I said, I've been running a bunch of Shopify stores for a number of years now, and so I just like improving and optimizing and always learning about the platform. And I think one of the best ways to do that is to go over the Shopify changelog every month. And so I've made this ongoing series that every month, usually at the beginning of the month, it's been a little bit longer because of the holidays and such, that I go over all the features, the improvements, the new apps and such that are coming to the platform, as it's always a good way to optimize your store, gain new ideas on what to work on next, and of course, stay ahead of your competition. It's all very important. So if you're interested in any of that, consider subscribing. I will see you in a few weeks. At the end of January, we'll go over all the January updates, and all the developers will be back from holidays. I'm sure they'll have a bunch of stuff that we can go over together. I'll see you then. Consider subscribing if any of that interests you. And if you do, I'll see you in the next video.